Branden here, and time for more Branden's boy problems. So, I've been living in New York City for an entire 2 months now, and dating has been interesting. I do feel like, of course, I moved to New York City because I wanted to have more dating experiences, more sexual experiences, more love in my life. There was nothing for me in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. It just has never really been my scene. So, of course, I wanted to come to New York where it's like the biggest city in the country. There's more options, there's tons of gays, there's way more opportunities here. And I mean, it's not been the easiest transition in terms of like thinking everything was going to like come at once or that it would be easy to like navigate. I guess because when I went to Atlanta, I had a lot of I don't know, I felt like it was really quick to like get back into acting, to like be on set, to like start seeing guys, meeting guys, dating guys. It was all like fast. But like New York, it's more of a slow burn, and I kind of feel like it's crazy because you would think like in the much bigger city it would be like way more and more and more, but it actually isn't, because it's like, yes, there's more quantity, but it's like there's not that quality. And especially when it's like your type or what type you're looking for, it doesn't look like New York is full of that many big beefy tops my type. But I mean, I did go on 2 dates my first week here, so like that got me in this mood where I'm like, dating's gonna be easy, I'll just be instantly going on dates, meeting guys, going out, etc. And then it did not end up like that. Like, it's like I had those 2 dates and then it was just like ebbed and flowed. And even with those 2 dates, it's like the one I really like the most is like married, ghosted me after telling me he was like wanted to be with me, had all this stuff in store for the future, like wanted to help me like set up my apartment, and then ghost. But again, he's married, lives with his ex, lots of red flags, but I'm delusional, and like if I love you, want to be with you, then I definitely am gonna like want to make it work. I ignore red flags. It's toxic. It's always been that way in my life. I know I'm like in my 30s now. I can't be doing the same stuff I did in my 20s where I'm like, let me just dive in and ignore the red flags. But I love love, so I kind of feel like if I have that spark, that passion, that chemistry, then I'm down for the ride and seeing where it takes us, and not like scared of what could go wrong, because I just feel like if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We just go our separate ways. But I'm not going to deny myself potentially a connection and fun experiences with a man that I know that I like and want to be with. So that was a red flag. The other guy I went out with, he's already leaving New York, but he was another actor. But we just never really made time for each other. I guess maybe there wasn't really that spark, but I just feel like, I don't know, I would have hooked up with him. But again, New York, big city living, it's always a revolving door. People are always coming and going. So it's like you can meet someone, go on a date, and then the next month they left the city, which also happened with another guy I went out with again. Like, we went out for drinks and cocktails. He lived in Harlem. I live uptown too. But I mean, I don't really think there was that spark of magic, but I also felt like he too also just left the city. And it's like I keep meeting guys that are like leaving, and then I met another guy that I was into. Like, we mainly like hooked up, but like he was talking about wanting to date and looking for a boyfriend, but then like it was like red flags too quick, where he was like he wants an open relationship where like we can still have sex with other people, and like he's obsessed with having threesomes, and like is not the type of life that I want. That is not the type of relationship that I want. Like, as sexual as I am, I don't like having threesomes with my boyfriend. Threesomes are fine when you're single, you're guest starring in somebody else's relationship, but that's not the relationship I want for myself. That's not gonna make me happy. If anything, it's gonna make me crazier and want the relationship over with quicker. So he was a lot of red flags, in top of he's also married, he also barely speaks English, and he also just way too many sexual red flags for me. And yeah, so dating's not been easy. And then I've also had guys ask me out and then nothing ever comes of it. There's no follow through, and I hate that more than anything. It's like, if you have to reschedule, then let's reschedule. Like, I want it on the calendar ASAP. I don't like that whole like, let's reschedule at a later date. And then it's also like I meet a lot of actors because of course it's New York City, so like I'm open to dating another actor, but on the one hand, they're either broken, struggling, which I know that struggle and have that issue, but it's also like, Dioda asked me out, and then 5 minutes later, after checking your bank account, you're like, oh no, let's reschedule. Like, you should have checked your bank account before you asked me out. And this has happened multiple times in multiple cities where guys will literally like, and they're all actors, like, be like, let's go get a drink, and then 5 minutes later, oops, I just looked at my account, let's reschedule. Like, what the hell? You should know automatically how much money is in your bank account. But again, I know the life of a struggling actor. I am a struggling actor. I get it. But it's like, I also, if I'm asking you out, I'm going to make sure I have money to go out before I even make the decision to ask you out. And then again, there's no follow up or follow through. So it's like, we never end up meeting because it was like they couldn't afford it at the time. And then there just wasn't that interest, I guess, to keep it going. And then there also was recently a new guy with potential. I do like him. He lives in my neighborhood. He's also an actor. But on the downside of that, it's like you're either getting the actors that are broke and can't see you, or the actors that are booked and busy and can't see you. So now it's like, at least he's employed, working, busy, making money and doing well in his career. But then it's like constant reschedule, or like, man, can't make time for me, and like I require a lot of attention. So it is a struggle. But I mean, it hasn't been Sex in the City where I think it's just dates, multiple dates a week. Like, even when I was in college in Boston, that's like the most I've ever dated, where like I was actually going on dates all the time. It's like New York, there's so much to do, there's so many festivals, there's so much good food. It's like, I'm gonna be going out and about on dates, and that's what I want. That's what I moved here for. Like, I'm open to a relationship, that's the goal. But I thought, like, New York, I'd at least be going out on dates more. So it's not as easy as I thought it would be in terms of acting, in terms of booking jobs, in terms of dating. It's like, yes, there's more opportunities and more potential, more possibilities here, but there is really, truly more competition and lack of resources. So it's not been easiest transition moving to New York, but I do love it here. And